this is the first time live on YouTube. I put it under the account Drawings by, excuse me. I put it on the Drawings by Brendan channel instead of the Me TV channel. I was gonna do one for Me TV, but there might be some issues with if it's made for kids with live TV. Or I just yesterday when I had the 24-hour notice that I needed my account activated. Maybe I had a different account. So from my end, everything looks fine. I was doing live streaming on Cartoons by Brendan, and sometimes the video cut out, and sometimes the video footage wasn't the best, and plus my microphone's kind of far away. This is really going to be designed for just music, so I got to kind of set up towards my computer. But obviously, you can see the behind the night sky stuff behind me, though the camera is a little crooked. But like I said, this is the first time live streaming, and it takes that just to get everything kind of rolling. So the live stream is going to be kind of casual, kind of normal. It's just going to be 1 to 3 hours, and I'll come on and off and do some music, and just have that experience of doing a live video. I don't really expect anybody to come through, and if they do, they're definitely welcome. But my channel doesn't have that many subscribers, so I'm just gonna hang out and just kind of have fun. But definitely, if you come across Drawings by Brendan, or you get the notification for the live stream, definitely join along. You're definitely welcome. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this camera and switch it around to my keyboard. Hopefully that's coming through and that sounds well. I'm gonna just check it on my cell phone just to make sure that it's going through on Facebook, on Twitter, and have an opportunity to draw people to the live video. So it's got a delay according to my phone of I don't know, about 10 seconds. So but that's coming in pretty good, and it's not skipping. I switched the computers. Um, I switched computers. I was doing ones on a couple of live videos on Cartoons by Brendan, and the videos kept skipping. And I re-listened to the whole thing. I mean, which it was good, but enough to sit through 2-3 hours of it. But it's still the skipping was just it was hard to go through. So hopefully, my Dell, which is what I'm going to be using, as a tower, yeah, will be able to produce that type of quality that lets the video flow a bit smoother, a bit faster. I know this HP that I was using, which is an excellent computer, my favorite computer, but it did get dinged up a little bit when I was moving it around. So it might have, some small issues that it's working on. So I'll just let it do that while I'm using the Dell, and hopefully it was that, because I really didn't like the thought that my Wi-Fi is either slow or that I just have a bad connection. So hopefully the sound is and the sound was coming through well. So I just heard it over my phone. So that's excellent. Again, here we are on live PBR-ASMR on the channel Drawings by Brendan. It was to be on MeTV, but I must have mixed channels up yesterday when I went to activate the channel for live streaming. Either it was that or it was the live video for video made for kids, and maybe the ASMR just isn't made for kids. I'm not sure actually about that. So most of the live videos, if I do figure, I might just make them all for not made for kids, because there is going to be issues with that. I mean, I don't see what kids are doing on YouTube, but if they are on YouTube, I guess this is possibly not made for kids. But there is nothing in there that should not be viewable for children. I mean, it's just one of those things where I don't feel comfortable if a kid can't feel comfortable, but they might not be as independent and as responsible, not having the time to grow up. So I just won't label it for kids if I'm going to run into that issue several times. So yesterday I did an excellent session. It was about 3 hours long on Cartoons by Brendan. The music came through wonderful. It was just so powerful, so moving, and I could have just did hours more. It was just such a fun time. Everything about it. I listened to the video afterwards, kind of like almost like a drug. I had it on. I'm like, yes, that is excellent. That's excellent, excellent, excellent. It was just that good. So it's something that I want to continuously do. Especially through video live streaming, because I feel comfortable in my own surroundings. But if I do pick up opportunities to play elsewhere in public places, I will definitely take them. But as for right now, it's kind of an in-home carnival show where I'm just gonna play some music and hang out. And and like I was saying on Cartoons by Brendan, live streaming is cool because if you're a tourist, say, as an analogy, and you're roaming around Facebook, what's better than finding a live place where you can visit and just hang out for a while. No strings attached, kind of like ice cream parlor or a park or something. So I've had that in mind for a couple of years, and I haven't found the place. But in my idea, there ought to be a virtual world, where I can paste my logo somewhere and people can come into my shop and visit me. Say in a video game world where people have avatars, I would want my shop in that kind of virtual world. And I haven't found it yet, and the technology might not be there yet. But that's going to be really great in the future, and they can just come in virtually, and I can be available for so many hours of the day where they can do a just interact live with a person streaming video. And I think that would really 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 be a lot of fun. And I've been looking forward to that, and I can't wait till it appears there for me, because Drawings by Brendan, GMC Drawings by Brendan, I want that kind of tent, that kind of carnival atmosphere. Whether it's out in the woods in a video game, like a virtual video game, or plastered in the city. I mean, it's just going to be, it's something I want done, so that way I have that public interaction in the virtual world. So that's definitely going to be fun, and I'm going to hope that we grow into that, where that will be the future, as well as the public that is out there in the material world. To have both. Where there's a material visit to Drawings by Brendan, whether you want your photo, you want a picture of a work of art that I can just sketch out and throw some pastels on, or you want a book, say, and you just come over and you want to pick one up. And not a lot of people do. I mean, not a lot of people are going to come over here and visit like a huge business. But I do have friends and friends of friends that would and could come over material and pick up just different items, whether it's a theater script, there's sheet music, or a book. Um, so I want both available options without a huge responsibility, that I'm getting millions of people visiting me. I mean, obviously, if there is more money to it, that would be possible to set up a shop in a place where people could come and visit on a larger scale, and plus have the taxes and the law being able to protect the place, so that way it doesn't get overrun. Um, and just and corrupt practice that are taking place where nobody can have fun, because it's brought down just through ignorance. So that's what I'm hoping for. That is hopefully the future of Drawings by Brendan. And I hope you continue following the stream and continue watching it. Like I said, I'll be here for 1 to 3 hours, if not longer. And as it holds up, I will continue to do it. And you know, and feel free to comment, or message me, or even text me on my phone and just let me know how everything's going. I know on Cartoons by Brendan there was a message, so people can message directly to me from Facebook, and I think I saw one here, so I'm gonna just double check on that. Um, So obviously, if you're wondering what this little wood thing is, it's really just a decoration. Um, you know, uh, I put it up yesterday. I kind of thought it looked cool. It was, I made it for the game, and yesterday when I was on Cartoons by Brendan, I was kind of there as doing kind of like an electronic signature. So I had this hung up for the game, but you can't really tell it says the game. But I kind of tried to tie it together to say the game. It doesn't look like that. It kind of looks like bones, kind of almost like a voodoo type thing, but it's not. It was for the game. and it still kind of looks cool because it's kind of woodsy. So I'm just leaving it up right now. Like on the other side, I have the Behind the Night Sky poster with the lights, which looked a little crooked on camera, but it still really, really is a pleasant sight in here. Um, that's just covering that idea because it almost looks like it almost can look like non-comprehensible, but just so you can comprehend it, wood from the woods of Vermont, sticks tied up with rope, saying the game because I'm the author of the game, the book, and it just doesn't. It's supposed to go on the front of my door, but I haven't finished it yet. But I want to have some decorations. And that's what that is. I don't know if you can hear the thought of the lyrics that would go with that, but it's like thought that would be thought that would be together, be forever and forever. Thought that would be together forever, together forever, together forever. I thought that would be together forever, together forever, together forever. That's kind of in the past, so it wouldn't be that happy of a song. I want to be with you together forever, together forever, together forever. Want to be with you together forever, together forever, together forever. Want to be with you forever, together forever, together forever, want to be with you forever, together, ever together, forever together. I want to be with you forever, together, forever together. Want to be with you forever, together, ever together, forever together. I want to be with you forever, together, ever together, ever together. Want to be with you forever, together, ever together, ever together. Want to be with you forever, together, ever together. I want to be with you forever, together, ever together, ever together. I want to be with you forever, together, ever together, ever together. Won't you be with me forever, together, ever together, ever together. I want you to be with me forever, together, ever I want you to be, want you together forever, together, ever together, ever together. Won't you be with me forever, together, ever together? As long as the sun is shining together, as long as the sun is shining. As long as the sun is shining, without you, I'll be crying. So won't you be with me forever, together, ever together? So, I mean, this seems to be coming through pretty good. I guess a pretty good, excellent live stream. I'm not seeing, whoops, not seeing anything cutting out. I mean, the video seems pretty steady. I mean, glad I switched that computer. That's a pretty cool live stream. I mean, that's pretty cool. Like I said, I mean, it's got to be something of the future. Where you just have this virtual world, like a video game setup. And you get an avatar. If you get an avatar, and go roaming out there and seek out the new art out there, the new landscape, which is probably changing all the time, and visit some of the shops around, whether they're in the rocks or the stones or up in the trees or something. It could really be an exciting place there. And there's so much work that there's so much jobs would in that system. Whether it's foundation work, building the security system. Just type in some of the codes for the foundation work, or whether it's putting a new layer on a tree, or just working in the forest through your hands on the keyboard or something. I mean, you know, I haven't stopped thinking about some of this stuff since back 2014, 2015, and that's why I did write the book Behind the Night Sky: Finding Run Personal Computer PBR, is because it's just such an excellent idea. In the book, I've tied some of it in when I was studying it and going through it. I did at the beginning in some of the original prints of Behind the Night Sky. I tied in, some of religious aspects to it, whether it was Luciferian or Christian doctrines in there that could actually make the reality possible. I threw it out because it's really not. It's not. I'm just not. I just don't know what it means to put some of that stuff in there. And I know where I'm at, which is kind of a public, peaceful thing where I can just throw some ideas out there. I mean, it's pretty normal for me to mention a video game, virtual world, a firewall or a security system. Are people just monitoring the virtual world? And those are pretty common ideas. And so, I mean, in the book Behind the Night Sky, it's about Maple, and she goes on a journey finding the knowledge of the universe. It obviously is fictitious. I mean, nobody knows if this is true. I don't know if it's true, but in the book, she finds that Behind the Night Sky. I mean, if we were in a virtual world and that was already set up for us, she finds these aliens behind the night. Well, they're extraterrestrials behind the night sky. And in her world, and the way I place it in the book, the virtual world would grow into something quite a bit more powerful. I mean, as a powerful living simulation, we would want it powerful and glorious. It just goes with creation. You get the better software, the better colors, the better, just overall feel of it, the environment, the sparkles, the music. The point is, that's why there's that living atmosphere in the world of Maple. That's why, when she's on the earth, she has all these responsibilities. That's why she can't believe what lies behind the night sky. That's why she can't tune in, because that harsh environment of the earth is actually given that ability for others to see Maple way more than she is, in her relaxed environment. So, it's just like a performance on stage. I mean, most likely people are entertained, and they most likely continue to be entertained by some sort of fear for the performers. I mean, back when I've read that in the Colosseum, they used to be entertained by gladiators, and I hear some performers when they're up on stage, they can do some quite challenging things that make a small stressor in their performance for themselves, which gives an overall great performance. Back in the early 2000s, it was Fear Factor, which was pretty entertaining. A lot of game shows, anxiety. It's about challenging the people up in the show. Um, you know, Even some of the talent shows, whether it's America's Got Talent or Britain's Got Talent. I mean, they're on there seeking for a prize or a reward, and I'm sure they're not in a comfortable situation. They got millions of people watching them, and there's just no way to be comfortable in that situation. So, in my opinion, it would be a real setting, and a virtual world would make the some of the better environments, at least the more luxurious environments, maybe environments for the rich are wealthy, and that's just my personal opinion. But like I said, I mean, if there was such a place, there's a lot of work, there's a lot of things happening. Whether it's coding or just building the overall security system, dirt material and or energy, power, energy, and you know, there's just tons of it. It's a really exciting world. I continue to go over the book Behind the Night Sky. I did all that art for it. I'm still doing art for it, and it's just an incredible story. And I'm gonna try to take it as far as I can, because it ties in with this day and age. I actually was watching a channel not too long ago, and I'm not going to mention the name because I just don't want to cause the friction right now. But I was watching a channel. I messaged them and told them I had a copy of Behind the Night Sky in a PDF format, and I didn't get no response. He actually at some point left an email that people could ask questions to. So I emailed him. I said, hey, I wrote this book. I mean, is this something you can use on one of your shows? Is this And he came back, and told me, well, he'll read the first couple of pages. If he likes it, I presume that he would do more with it. He didn't really get back to me, but I still believe it's an excellent story, and I'm gonna leave that room of months to years to look back and say, well, I have nothing. Where did I miss it? Because it's definitely in Behind the Night Sky. It just is, because it's relevant for the day and age. It's relevant towards stuff like the Matrix movies. It's relevant to our sanity's sake. I mean, it's relevant to employment. I mean, yes, robots could possibly be doing a lot of heavier work. Where is our place in that heavy work? And I don't see why typing on a keyboard doesn't make energy, because it does make energy. Carbon fibers. If I've seen technology online, and most likely it was true. Where you can put on a carbon fiber shirt and plug in your cell phone, and you can be moving outdoors, and it would be powering up your cell phone as it's moving, because your body's producing a small amount of energy. That energy is captured in the carbon fibers and delivers it to the cell phone. It's the same idea when typing on a keyboard. There's small amounts of energy being put in there when you're typing. That energy can be used for it can be it can be converted, in other words, to other forms of material things. Small it may be, but it's definitely possible. I put it on my website when I first caught a drift of this, and this was back when I did some of the first prints of Behind the Night Sky, and I had back on the back cover the city of Orion. Just type it. So much of a percentage of a cent for typing words, or even letters. But I tossed out the idea because I'm using Orion for one thing, and then I'm using something that almost could sound like religious. And then I have to keep kind of covering it up a little bit. I put it on my website too. When I first put downloadable books on there, I it wasn't totally intended to put it on Drawings by Brendan. I was actually going to put it somewhere else. There was a whole nother website just called Just Type It. See how many people I could draw there. But I already had started tossing out some of this stuff. So I mentioned it on Drawings by Brendan. If you want to give back freshly typed words, message me and I'll give you a place to send those words and possibly even pay them that percentage of a cent because it's not going to amount to much. Just for the investment of where at least I am at mentally in this world. And I think other people are too because it usually lines up fairly well. But then I felt like, well, maybe I am putting a little too much religious aspect on this because nobody's going to really know what to do with that unless they have the carbon fiber, gloves that they put on and type or the carbon fiber outfits that they put on the farm animals. Nobody's going to really want, just another one of those foresights where somebody writes a book and says thousands of years down the road, this most likely can happen. So I don't want to do one of those because it's a long wait, and there's already things like that. So I guess I should really focus more on carbon fibers and invest in them. But as long as I'm saying it right now, I mean this should be fairly good because I mean what is one more guy out there saying carbon fibers or nanotechnology or quantum mechanics? Because I'm sure they already heard that enough times. I know I have. And just to see it, and it's just not good enough anymore. So I put mine into practice, and that's where it would be at. Even a job would be. If people are working, on this, virtual world, and they need to produce the energy for just extra in case there was, a glitch in the system. I mean, this energy could, in a certain exchange, it could fix that glitch. I mean, if there was overseers. So, if they're typing away for that extra, you have another guy that can come in and collect whatever that energy was. And, those are all jobs. Those are all, whether somebody types it, somebody collects it, somebody analyzes it, somebody recycles it, and then somebody delivers out the energy. And they don't have to be 1, 2, 3 hour jobs. I mean, they can be minutes, and then you can be able to do it at your own time, wherever you want to in time. Just to be able to either type the words on your own time, take out the recycling bin at your own time, which could be, but most likely the one on the normal PC, the recycling bin. But I don't think it is right now. Though it could have been, because I mean, if there was time travelers, they would have put some of this stuff in there for their own convenience, but not from my perspective and in the generation I grew up in. So if it was something like the recycling bin, once you toss it in the recycling bin, and they used to kind of do this in schools, I think, where somebody would come up and grab the recycling bin, but most likely it wouldn't be physical. Somebody would, online, tap into certain recycling bin world, and then they would probably inform you that they emptied your recycling bin, and then they would report that to a bank, and then the bank would pay you after you collected $10, maybe $20, and give you a gift card or a check or something. And it is like that online right now. It is partially like that online, but the thing that is not like that is just because it's like that, it wouldn't be like that. Is the thing, because if it's like that, nobody has reason to continue working on the city. And the idea, if it's the idea, then nobody has a reason to seek out the idea. So it's obviously not the idea. It's not practiced. In my world, only so that I can practice it. So most likely there are millions of people living in this world and doing these things, but to some of us, we're seeking it out, and in seeking out, we are living the very thing that everybody else is living, which is, the perfection of the entire system, virtual system. So it's really exciting. It's really, really thrilling, and it's a great time to be alive. And like I said, the Behind the Night Sky. I mean, that's why I wrote it. It's available as a free download right now on GMCDrawingsByBrendan.com. It's also for sale on blurb.com. If you go to MidasTouch.com and you message him and say, do you have a copy of Behind the Night Sky? He most likely could get you one. It'd be pretty expensive, $150, but he has 10 available. I'm sure he would be glad to grace you with that, as long as if you can grace enough to understand that. I mean, the material possessions can be a little bit expensive, because it's physical work and it's a whole book, and it's not for free, and it's not easy to go to somebody and just say, give me this stuff. This guy needs it, without a certain amount of honor and respect. So to balance that out, I've put the free PDF online, so that way I can charge a lot for just all around everybody who participates in the book that would be delivered to your house. And it can be quite a bit. I mean, from $80 to $150, depending on the day, the time, the place you buy, and then the amount that's in stock at the time. So it really can depend. But I am very happy that it's for sale online. I mean, thank you blurb.com, thank you MidasTouch.com, Microsoft Office for letting me use their applications. And it's just an outstanding book. It's an excellent book, and I do want to share that with people. And if you come along and you read it and you do notice some stuff about it that you think could be better, or that you personally just want to see better, so that way it gets to a larger audience, you can contact me at cartoonsbybrendan@yahoo.com, and we can do a second edition of it, and we can see how it works then. The theater script for it, I made a theater script for it along with the music, and this was one of the songs. That's the Behind the Night Sky theme song, and that is in the hardcover book, and that's also going to be in the theater, production of it. It is in the electronic theater production of it. I would like to get more of it, and see if I can't get that in a larger setting, because I have the gravity to hold that together, and I would just love to see it and shown to a bigger audience. And from my perspective, I'm a pretty humble person, so I don't have a huge background in either music, arts, or entertainment. I'm not going to be coming at them for anything other than just performing at that moment. I'd really love to see him do it. I'd love to be able to say that I wrote the story, that I wrote the music for it. And it might even be something I'm just gonna have to personally take myself, because everybody else who put that in the production, they're most likely gonna need credit for it, want credit for it. But it really is a good story, and I do got the script done, and I got the music done. There's some small things I'm working on, but even as I'm working on it, because I am the gravity do it, I have to continue living it, daily, to turn it on and to add on to the music or take away from the music. So if you see something Behind the Night Sky, or you see the electronic theater version of it, and you want to see the script, I can either send you a PDF of it, the script that I have in 2021, or if you give me a postal address, I can print out the 15, 16 pages of the script, with the instruments that I would want, as well as the characters that I would want, give or take a little. And then the stage settings, which you would need for the entire show, as far as beds and tables and paintings. And if you would want to see that in printed format, just email me, or even find on Drawings by Brendan here, or Me TV, and just message me. Let me know you want the script. After I get more than 10 requests, I'm just going to leave it as a PDF format. I'll throw it up on Drawings by Brendan, and y'all can download it and print it out the way you want to. But just in this case, just because I'm not so well known and I don't expect a lot of requests, I can just go ahead and let you know, tell you that I can print it out, and I'll just put it in an envelope and mail it to you. And that's really exciting. It's a really excellent script. And that's not the only thing that I'm working on. I'm also working on the game theater version. I mean, just as I'm on the topic of theater, the game is an excellent book. I created playing cards, for the book. I've also put the book in this game package. It's a medieval themed font, a medieval themed edition of the game. You get a pine needle, you get a signed letter from the author, you get a quick sketch, you get a print, and you get the playing cards, which was printed by Sign Depot of Vermont. I actually can show you them, just because I mentioned Sign Depot of Vermont. I mean, as you can see right here, these are the cool playing cards. It's a pretty simple game. I just did a couple Facebook ads about the first 20 purchasers of the game. I would send them a free pack of playing cards. I am running low on playing cards, but just to get this started up, if you did message me, or whether on Facebook or Twitter, or on YouTube here, I can send a few of these out. Um, you know, Granted that you give me a post office box and a place to send them. So yeah, and the theater version is in works on that. Just to get the whole script done, music done, and I mean, that one's gonna be really exciting. I really love that book. I really love the characters of that book. Actually, I have the game theme. Maybe I'll try playing that. I haven't played it in a while. And it's not totally done, but it's done enough that I can actually use it in places. And I'm gonna just do a little touching up on it right now. Sorry about that. It's my phone right there. I left it on so that way I could check on the video to see how the live stream was. And so, I can't actually. I'm not going to answer it right now. But this is the quick sheet music to the game theme that I got jotted down. I did not actually totally finish this and make this into a downloadable object yet. Still in the works. But you might have heard some of the theme on whether it's on MeTV or just my normal YouTube account. It's got that pine, and I'm smelling the pine, and it's going up the hill looking at the sunlight. I was just using some of those pieces for inspiration when I was working on the game. This is how the theme is, something like this. It's something like that. There's so much more that can be added into this, but I missed a small repeat sign there, so I'm gonna go back and try it again. That part right there, it's taken a while. It's taken a few months now since I started really jotting down the game. Well, at least the notes for it. I mean, but this part I know that I made a note for, and this is that part right there. The theme will pick up throughout the show. And it's pretty simple. And then this is the creative part. This is the same kind of thing as knowing all. I mean, knowing all, and behind the night sky has this, but the right instrument, is really like Big Eye as a robot. If you've ever seen some of the automation proclamation videos I did of the robot with the kind of human head, which is really supposed to be Abraham Lincoln's, the president of the United States. But that character, I mean, he has his own head. I actually built that character for the game, and I'm using him for automation proclamation because he is a robot, and it just fits well because that was Big Eye in the game. Um, but this is his part, because this game is happening, and it's kind of like this curse. Nobody knows where it's coming from. If you do read the book, I mean, actually, I don't want to spoil it for you, but obviously, this is Big Eye's part right here. I mean, he goes. And now, if we use something. And it could be a little fun part in a theater production, where the whole time it's his secret. What's the truth behind Big Eye? In part of the book, I mentioned it. He's like, he comes out with a snarl. He said, "Blood that spills is blood that kills." So it kind of fits well. I mean, if he's walking by and he says, "Blood that spills is blood that kills." It's almost like a lesson being learned in a sense, and then I mean that kind of that sound right there, as when I was making some of the videos for, I pointed them up, looking at the sun rising. I mean, you get the pine branch, you look up in the sky, and the sun's shining bright. I mean, that's kind of the atmosphere of just appearing and gone. There's no humans, there's nobody else. You're just in the woods, and you're not there just one day. You're there the second day. You're there the third day, and every day the sun's rising on the east side of the clearing, of the field of the game, and it's just one of those. Okay, I had that bit wrong. It's kind of that depressing, pine forest. It's just kind of mellow. It's kind of low, it's almost like it's a tragedy. But once they get going and they have the children and there's all these people and gone, it really becomes a blessing. But at the beginning, that's what it would be like. And then Big Eye would come on from time to time. Blood, blood that spills, blood that kills. Blood that spills is blood that kills. You have to read the book to totally get it, but it's kind of like an automation system. Like I said, it went well with Automation Proclamation. part of time. It's part of the ones and the zeros. But everything kind of boils down to this system of just what it is. Whether it's atoms with the positive and the negatives, the binary code, whether it's ones and zeros, or you get a person's good and evil side, or to whether you get time. I'm kind of a big one on time. Whether it's the time, or a you know uh, uh, an either in time. I mean, you get like a time where everything has to be on time, and then you get he has to have days off. So his days off are obviously the opposition to time. Everybody thinks time is, at least I do. I mean, I don't really want to look, but I bet if you dug deep, I mean, time has those days where they're off, and that's most likely what it is. That was the game theme. Pretty cool. So I'm gonna now pop the camera back over facing the behind the night sky poster with the lights. Looks a little bit crooked on camera, but let me get this microphone back over here somehow. Okay, so I'd love to leave this thing. Okay, so hopefully you can hear me. I got this. I had to move the microphone. I kind of got it tied up onto a string. But as you can see, I mean this. I got the microphone actually hanging, and then I can just kind of move the microphone around while it's dangling. It's actually I'm trying it out. It's a small experiment, but if you want to try it out, you would go to settings on your PC, and you would go to the sound control panel, and then just you would go to the communications on the sound control panel, and you can reduce the volume of other sounds by 80%. You can reduce the volume of other sounds by 50%. You can do nothing, or you can mute all sounds, all other sounds. So I have reduced the volume of other sounds by 80%. I am wondering and slightly convinced that the rest of the sounds around me will be, you know, quieted, which means that if I don't have the microphone, I mean, at such and such a distance, then most likely you're not going to be able to pick up on what I'm trying to say. So I got attached to the ceiling. Well, it's not really to the ceiling; it's actually to a lighting fixture, and then a light on a line on the phone, which I can kind of move around the room. So yes, I started thinking about that on this at the last break that I took. That the um, you know the just type it the words, um, just to produce the energy, just for fun, just to try it out, just to see if that fits you. I mean, say you remember those old fashioned kind of rowboats, back when, which I still kind of think were kind of semi stronger than some of the tech today. They would row it by hand. They would row across an ocean by hand. They would have 100 guys or so. I think that somewhere out there on the internet, I mean, certain security walls are going to be done like that through typing. So it was really exciting. It might not be as laborious as rowing a boat, but I mean, if you were to do it an hour a day or 2 hours a day or even less, that might be able to solve a certain security issue, a universal security issue. So I was gonna do a just type it website, but I switched that and put it on my website. But I did change it to books as well. So if you have a book or small short novel or any words in general, just to protect, I mean, to practice, the building the enzymes, the mental capacity and the ability, you could practice that kind of universalism by going to drawingsbybrandon.com, messaging me and say, well, I have either a short novel, a novel, or some words, or just a random, just bunch of words, and you can send it to one of my email addresses. Don't put nothing important. Don't put any personal information. You don't even got to use sentence structure. I mean, this is just to practice, typing for security and energy, because I mean, if it does come down to that your hands, produce energy captured through a carbon fiber, it doesn't really mean that you have to, type anything other than just a bunch of keys. But to entertain multiple parts of your body, you might want to structure it in such a way. So when I first caught on to this back in 2015, I couldn't wait to start practicing it and putting it into work. And the thing is I can't, and most of you probably are like that, where you can't just abandon, your conscious responsibility to your peers, to your parents, and just go out there and just type. You remember on The Simpsons, where Bart would be on the chalkboard writing a line over and over again. I mean, if somebody was to write that on a chalkboard or a computer over and over again, most likely, I mean, they're not going to be. They might not fare so well in certain standards of the world, because they're going to wonder, well, what'd you do with all your time? I don't know if this is even true, but for me, people might wonder, well, what do you do with your time? What do you have to show? That you can be responsible for certain things we've given you. So it's really important for me to use structure and present that. But in a longer picture, thousands, 2,000, 3,000 years down the road, I mean that this idea just seems so much fun, and it wouldn't be that hard to do, because some people use meditation as kind of or they'll read novels and they'll kind of use that to kind of put back into the environment, so that way they stay balanced. So I mean, just typing on the keyboard might be one of those things where it's like a meditation. You it balances you, because maybe you're just going online and you're looking at all these flashy pictures and movies and music, and you start wondering, well, where's my gravity? Where am I going to ground myself to make sure that my power don't get cut off or my internet don't get cut off? So if that option is available on www.drawingsbybrendan.com, to kind of ground yourself right there by absolutely nothing, because the ground is like that. There's a large quantity of it, so it's kind of not important. It's not one of those house structures. It's not a store. It's not one of the animals. It's not one of the trees. It's just kind of there, and especially if you're in the desert, it's just there. It's just something you're gonna walk on. So when you hit that time where you just are down like that, and it's one of those moments where it's kind of called that somebody there's a moment where others may appear to be walking on this aspect of life. um you know uh it's not it's not that it's not common. I've looked a little bit, and it's quite a few places, and there's a lot of ways where people go to balance themselves out in that manner, so that way they don't fight that. They don't fight against um, you know the actual reality upon the earth, because there is gravity. I mean, yes, most likely with all possibilities you can fly, but to stay close to some of your peers and some of the places and workplaces and stores and things that are familiar, most likely you most likely I started out on the ground, so it's important for me to stay on the ground, and that's one of the ways I do it. And so if you find that something that you might want to do, just toss me a message, and you can just email me what you got for words. Most likely, I'll throw them in my right recycling bin and just kind of delete them. But it still could be a fun process for like exchange, give and exchange type of thing. I mean, you do enough of them. I checked on certain realities, like prison money, for example, which is even worse. Which is, I mean, you're talking about a penny a day if you type 8 hours, you're talking about roughly about a penny a day, if that. I mean, on certain larger worlds, so it's not really much of a point to calculate it at this point. If you were to do that for the next 30 to 40 years and deposit them 8 hours a day on drawingsbybrendan.com, I might be able to give you $40 in 40 years. Um, but I wouldn't really count on it. But you know, even if I wouldn't pay the $40, it just would be worth $40 anyways somehow. You know, even if it just would be. It's just one of those type of things. Yeah, I was anxious to start that up. I wrote this book, Behind the Night Sky. Some of the first prints of it, there was a picture on the back with Orion, Orion kind of logo type of thing, where it's being kind of advertised to type and pay money. Although it's a fictitious story, the idea is so outstanding and so far beyond anything that I've heard of for volunteer kind of meditation, kind of staying grounded, that I just love the idea. So I want to do more with it, and I still do. But again, I mean, it's a really touchy subject when talking about gravity. I mean, people on the ground know the pain that it can cause getting walked on. To be that close to the earth that you actually can feel others walking on you. So it can be a bitter topic, and sometimes I've gone through such things where I almost could just ruin my thing. I'm thinking somebody's walking on me. I've gotten close, where it's like, why are they walking on me? Why are they walking on me? So at some point I must have got too close to the source of gravity. So I've lightened up a bit, and I know that I do not want to do that again. Seek for all the money, the power, and because there just isn't nothing there in my eyes, to want all the money, all the luxuries, all the people, because it's going to be more painful than nothing. Because once you have all, there is no where to go. So obviously you just float around, kind of like you're not even there. I mean, in my personal experience, it's like just kind of bobbling up and down, not non living anymore, because our life was in seeking that gravity source, which was all the money, the riches, the fame. And so if it's just handed to you and just floating around, kind of just dead, it's just life's just no longer, you know, worth living. So a lot of people, I think, found this, and so they fight, a situation where they can stumble upon something that's going to put them in a situation where they're just being walked all over because they don't have the lack in their life to have to seek the next day to discover the next day. So and that does not that is not where I'm at, because it is, and I just don't put it. I don't put that on my website, but that is kind of where it's going, and you can tell anyway, because I mean, once you get to writing books and reading books, I mean, the very nature in school kind of said it was gravity. It was something the more mature kids were doing. It was something that it was something that was gonna make you more in life in the eyes of gravity. I don't know if it did you, but that's what nature seemed to tell me back when I was young. So with or without the Orion, kind of logo, and the hype of just type it, getting paid for typing words. Without that, I mean, you would be able to tell, because it's book writing. I mean, just a library. I mean, just having your friend invite you to the library. I mean, unless you're getting something out of it, most likely it is most probably gravity. Depending, give or take a few. Yeah, I mean, so I'm not right now, but even if the library was a cool thing to explore, you know, so is buying a quantum city, with the money being made and stuff, and the game, the continuous collection of money, to make a dollar, make a dollar, make a dollar, and just keep building and building until you possess. I mean, this city, this city, this city, this city, and it's just like it would just be really a fun. It'd be really fun. I mean, if your buddy comes down and says, well, I got $40 for you. 4 hours of work. We just cut some branches off the trees. it can be a good thing, but it wasn't as much. That idea is not as much fun as owning and possessing a quantum city through just typing every now and again on the keyboard. It was something so thrilling about it that I would have to kind of put that in the background a little bit, because it really isn't like that. It's like your buddy calls you up and says, "Hey, you can make a half of a cent today if you type for 45 minutes, anything, just get it done," and that's the gravity right there. I mean, that is the chore. That's the hard part. And any much further than that, I mean, you're going to be close to the source and just be getting walked on. So um, it's something to that effect, and I'm pretty sure I communicated well. But I just want to clarify that a little bit about what happened with that and what you can do about it. I mean, if books aren't gravity for you and you kind of want to go your own route, and you just type of 45 minutes, unique keys, you know, uh, message me on Drawings by Brendan, or you can even, you can find my email address around. It's on, YouTube. It's, it's on Facebook. And you can just email those to me. If time travelers really did do this, you also could just throw it in the recycling bin afterwards, but it might not be that much fun unless you have a point of contact to say, "Hey, I got this done." But they might have. There might be somebody that checks the recycling bin and gathers stuff out. So either way, I mean, whatever works for you. So if you can pretend somebody's messing through your recycling bin to count up your words, whatever they may be. I mean, that's cool. Or if you want to just do a buddy at Drawings by Brendan and email me your words to show off and say, "Hey, you did 45 minutes today." I'm cool with that. Like I said, I'm books are fine with me. I mean, if I go too much further with it, I'm just not consciously. I just don't feel. I feel too far off the beaten path right then. you know. But what can do from time to time, and though I can do some typing, I take a toothbrush and do my floor with some bleach or some Comet, and that does the same thing as typing. I mean, it's just one of those things. Survival is where you just take charge and you do it. But the typing one's a pretty cool one. So we're just little little shy of 3 hours now, and I might just wrap this up in a moment here. But this was a pretty cool live stream. I hope that as time goes on, I mean, there will be that virtual world where I can kind of set up a actual virtual shop as part of a virtual VR world, where you have a club or a bar, and you can kind of just knock out a wall and throw in, drawings by Brendan, and people can go in there, and when it's live, I can just chit chat to him, talk to him, just hang out with him, kind of as a brother. Um, if nobody is there, there just be merchandise available, whether it's books or other links that will take you places. It's already possible with my website, because I get a source code. Like for blurb.com, for instance, I get a source code and I can paste that onto my website. You can see the books from Blurb that I've done right there on the website. So, I mean, as the technology develops, as the codes develop, you should be able to just virtually walk into the shop and just pull out the book and flip through it, in a 3D format, where you feel like you're kind of on the earth. And then there could be other things, where I have a YouTube list of videos, and you can go in and just kind of maybe have a lounge and select which videos you want to watch. Um, you know, uh, and that would be nice, and that would be, that would just be so sweet of a thing right there. And then you could ask the question, what does finance such a thing? And there could be many ways of looking at that. There could be so many ways of looking at that, because even as owner of it, I mean, say you own that particular entire section of, say, a mall or something. I mean, there just there can be, but there isn't really finances to back that. In the long run, I mean, 2,000, 3,000, a billion years down the road, I mean, there really isn't the logic of finances. I mean, it's whether you can cope with another day. I mean, if it's the same shop, it's the same thing, and what the finances are, obviously, the more important finances is just being able to hack that day in and day out. I mean, VR glasses or TVs or something, and just be able to continue doing that daily. So obviously, that's another thing where that element, that idea of financing something that that's just not my job. It's kind of the gravity, it's the earth type of thing. I mean, those are the things, just like the forest and the water. I mean, the gravity provides a lot of that stuff. And then my job is just to fill that situation. So it would mostly be expected, with certain grants from the sunlight and the stars light and the earth, that most of those things would be free, because we would be chained to the environment that we live in, and that we're making virtually, and we are kind of chained already to the pretend virtual world around us. At least I'm pretending it's a virtual world around us. So there isn't I don't think it's like that financially at the moment, because just it isn't, because it's not really it's not really my gift to finance it. It'd be the gift of others. But it's still a cool thought to think about. I mean, because you know just is, but yeah, I mean, that would be cool. Money gathering would be fun, and then do a city, and then do that kind of outlet, like almost like in my mind, it was almost like a red light district type of thing, where you have all these virtual worlds kind of huddled together with little shops, and I mean, virtually, I mean, it'd just be pretty cool, because you could kind of, in these little, like, huts, or these kind of brick walls. I mean, there could be a show happening on there virtually in there, but on the but in reality, it's like the Matrix movie. I mean, you're in these little, like, container cells, living there, and it's just, the reality is not as cool as the virtual world. So it's a cool idea to think about, but it's definitely one of those things where if you're there, you just don't want to be there, because even in the Matrix, I mean, Neo what kind of wanted to go back when he saw what the real reality was. I mean, there was no bound to cookies. He wasn't bound to soda. He wasn't bound to the lights coming out of his computer anymore. He could just pretend. I mean, if you can see it, like, pretend a virtual cookie. It's just, we don't work to eat the cookies. We don't, like, want to eat cookies. We're chained to eating cookies, and now he's chained to no cookies. And it's always one of those things where you find a new thing that's in closing, and it's one of those, I gotta bust out of it. I gotta bust out of it. And as you try to bust out of it, you get so close to both busting out of it, you think, well, I, kind of like the thing I'm busting out of all of a sudden, but. it's miserable. That it's really miserable, but it's the truth, and it's the way I can survive just about anything. And I have personally thought of those little kind of houses where like the Matrix, where you're just in there, and you don't even get a keyboard. You kind of get stones, and you just play around with the stones. I mean, that's the same. Uh, Behind the Night Sky, I wrote this song "Stones" in there, and the title of the song is Brendan's Behind the Night Sky, and I mean that's pretty much the atmosphere of the art and the song is that they kind of just live in this stone environment, and they can play the stones, they can type on the stones. It's all stones, and it's pretty sweet. And and if it does happen, I will be able to survive it. I mean, that's if that's if the world does, because like I said, consciously responsible of you know right here. Okay, so anyways, before I get too deep into that, if in hopes that I don't get too deep into it, I'm gonna end this live stream. Great spending time with you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you catch this video, I mean after the fact, um, you know, uh, uh, give a comment, give a like. If you want, subscribe. The next live video I do, and as I do, I'm going to put them on Me TV instead of Drawings by Brendan. This channel is going to be for my website technically, so there'll be cartoons, grammar, and music on this website, but it probably just won't be a live music thing like it was today. I mean, Me TV is going to be the place where I'm going to put these, and I'm going to try to do a few of them, just to see where it goes to. So thanks for spending time with me. Have a wonderful night. If it's in the morning, have a wonderful morning. And until we meet again. Goodbye.